Welcome to another Nautilus Custom Guitars tutorial. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how I do this backfill inlay. So let's jump right into it. I'm drawing reference lines on the fretboard. I have a center line already marked, and I made an X through the 12th fret to find its center. Here I'm taking a protractor and drawing a line through the center of the fret perpendicular to my center line. I now have a reference for my X and Y points. I've done the same thing on the graphic by drawing center lines down the north-south and east-west points. I put a piece of carbon transfer paper underneath, and then I'll cut off the excess. The outer circle will sit inside the edge of the fretboard, but the east-west points will be off the sides. I'm going to cut those points off fairly close to the circle so I can see the reference line I drew on the fretboard. Now I just line it up and tape it into place. So I'm using a ballpoint pen to trace over the design. The carbon paper underneath will transfer it to the fretboard. I don't have to press very hard since it's going onto a light colored surface. Darker woods generally require a bit more pressure to get the transfer to show up, and some surfaces like ebony won't show the transfer at all. The blocks of wood on the side are there to help my hand be level with the fretboard and make it easier to trace. Now on to the Dremel. I'm using a medium small down spiral cutting bit. It's set to a shallow depth. I don't need to go deep because this is just a backfill. This is also a distressed graphic, so it's meant to look beat up and rusted through and weathered. I don't need to have sharp edges and lines. This bit set comes with small and extra small bits for getting into sharp corners and getting more precise lines. So this will create a relief that will be filled with a different material. A little bit of light sanding before we fill, and that'll clean things up on the surface. This is thin CA glue. It'll help keep the material in place. I'm using ebony sawdust. I have an ebony fretboard that I'm making, and as I cut the fret slots, I just dump the sawdust into a folded piece of paper. So almost nothing goes to waste in my shop. Once I get it all filled, I'll go over the top with a medium CA glue, and then I'll spray it with an accelerator, and that will instantly cure the glue. And after all that, we sand. You'll generally find that as things settle and saturate, usually another pass or two is required to fill in any pits. So after about 10 or 15 minutes of sanding, we have a nice flat surface with an inlay. And as always, thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. If you have any questions about the process, just leave them in the comments below.